I was super excited actually to get your email because I've always thought if there's anything I can do to support this technology, I would love to do that. So
Well,
very
perfect.
happy that to
I'm
see
super
that.
excited too. I was actually very excited to see your name pop up when you were like, "Yes, I'm interested." I was like, "Oh, she's such a great person to talk to about this." Okay. So, what led you to explore QT imaging?
So after my treatment for breast cancer, I knew I would need to participate in ongoing screening regularly, right, to ensure that I stayed healthy. But I am not a huge fan of mammograms. I find the experience uncomfortable, and often the setting is a little fear-inducing. So I actually just started an online search to see if there were any other options. I was familiar with traditional ultrasound and had previous good results with that, but they weren't ever as clear cut or necessarily accurate as I might have hoped. So I was really excited to stumble across this technology and learn more about it. And I was really anxious to try it. And in fact, I traveled across the country to give it a try for the first time.
And then, how did you hear about it?
It was really just a web search. I think there were a couple of podcasts as well as a couple of websites for the few centers where this is currently available in the US. I have family in the local area, so I decided to choose this center, and I've been really happy that I did.
Awesome. And then, how was your QT imaging experience different from traditional breast screening?
So I think the experience is night and day different. It's because there's no compression, there's no discomfort, which I really appreciate. I have relatively dense breasts, so that's a very uncomfortable experience for me. Um, One of the things that is challenging for me in terms of traditional imaging is really just kind of, and I mentioned this, the fear of the overall experience. So interacting with other women who are so anxious in that space, waiting for results, about to go in for the procedure, I find difficult. And I have not had that same experience with QT imaging. It's a very calming approach. The procedure is painless. There's no compression. There's no radiation. It's soothing. There's a warm water bath, which is very comfortable. The team has been very welcoming and very calming, very matter of fact in terms of approaching the process as well. And it's just been, again, night and day difference for me.
Awesome. And then, what did you learn from your QT report about your breast health, and did it influence your health decisions?
So I actually learned that I had dense breasts for the first time. It was the first time I had explicitly seen those words, which was very informative to me and explained some of my past experiences. I also, after surgery, had developed a cyst and had traditional imaging that was inconclusive and had been encouraged to actually go forward with a biopsy of that site. And I was comfortable enough with the results of my QT scan that I did not pursue that biopsy because over the 6 month follow-up period, those changes appeared to be benign. So that was an incredible benefit to me to be able to avoid that biopsy.
I love that. That's amazing. And then, how did you feel emotionally during and after the scan?
Oh, it sounds ironic, but safe and comforted. Just kind of the direct comparison of the two experiences, I can't understate it. I believed in the technology based on the research I did do after I stumbled upon it, and really felt that not only was it a great choice and a viable option for screening, but because the experience itself was so much more comfortable, it made me not dread it, which is big. It made me not fear it, which is also big. And even though it's the same thing, you're screening, and that can be a scary process because the process itself was less intimidating. I was much more comfortable.
Awesome. And then would you use QT imaging in the future?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am on an annual cycle, but would certainly seek it out if I had other concerns in the interim.
Perfect. And then would you recommend QT imaging to others?
I already have. I do have a relative, also a breast cancer survivor, who is working through how best to monitor her own health. And I have made that recommendation. So I believe she's pursuing it within the next month or so.
Perfect. I look forward to it. And then you had to explain QT imaging to a friend in one sentence. What would you say?
I think I would describe it as a non-invasive, non-intimidating process for screening breast health.
Wonderful. Love it. Anything else you want to add before we go?
I tell every woman I know about this technology, and I genuinely believe it's going to be a huge component of future screening for breast health.